So, my friends, this is just a prattle, really, about the long time. The long time for personal development. Is it a long time? Quick time? Or short time? Or long time for therapy? Putting it all together and me just rambling, but hopefully sharing some thoughts I have that will make you, or not make you, but might lead you to think of different things. Maybe lead you to creating the most wonderful life that you deserve. Have a listen after this if that is interesting to you. Hey, this is the Personal Development Unplugged podcast, where we use hypnosis. Yeah, hypnosis. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Don't worry what it is. It's just a mass of processes that we're going to get you to change. Change to let go of anxiety, low self-esteem, and create massive supreme inner confidence. But that's confidence in your competence and competence in your confidence, which means you can do anything and be safe, to enjoy the world as it should be, with you at the helm, creating the life that you want. That's what this podcast is about. You and being the best you could be, singing from your real voice, aligned with your mission, aligned with your passions. That's what it's about. So if you're interested in letting go of anxiety, if you're interested in letting go of fear, guilt, all those blooming syndromes, imposter syndromes, and every little bit of the mind which is negative, then have a listen here, because we've got some wonderful processes and lots of good conversations between you and me to get us both thinking in such wonderful ways. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Just take the chance to have a listen.
Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hiya, how you doing? I wanted to have a chat today. So there'll be things to think about, I guess. And it's telling you some of my thoughts on this thing called, there's a lot, you see, I'm even confused already. How long, time that wise, is long? And how quick in time is quick? Because no one ever says that. They generalize, it takes this long, it's really quick. And I'm thinking about this thing of quick time, long time, it'll take whatever time, in the realms of personal development and therapy. Because I think sometimes they go hand in hand. Because sometimes I think we need a little bit of therapy to help our personal development. And when we do our personal development, we find out that we might need some therapy. And there is, to me, a confusion between a long time and doing things quickly. And even that sounds a little bit confusing, doesn't it? Personal development needing therapy, therapy aiding your personal development. Does it? Well, put it this way, I'm easily confused. I really am. What about you? Are you confused sometimes? I really am. Because you see, in personal development, I see it all over the place. These quick hacks, and I hate the bloody term hacks. 7 minutes to find your passion. The secret you'll learn in 2 minutes. Count to 5 and your anxiety will go. Do this and, we have all of that. And then I hear on certain podcast things where people talk about, well, that is a real emotional thing that you've got to deal with. And because it's so serious, so deep, that's going to take a long time. You're going to have to dig really deep. You're going to have to go through all that trauma again just to change. That's emotional change, isn't it? That's our mental health stuff. And it is, the other stuff on mental health stuff, and you can latch it all in. But the new ones, I've got my isms or disorders. There's always bloody initials. I can never remember the bloody initials or what that ism is sometimes. Or the phobia. We've got lovely names and labels for stuff. And because we've sometimes got an ism, I know it helps people having a label. Because they were going a little bit fretful, not knowing what's happening to them. Now I've got a label to know. Now I understand why I'm a bit doolally in my mind and the things I do. But it's going to take a long time, if ever, to change. And that's encouraging, isn't it? Can you hear that didn't really come across sarcastic, did it? But it should have done. Should have done. So, putting that all together, we can find our life path. The reason why we're on this little old planet, our passion, in just a few minutes by hacking our brain. And can you imagine that? Just getting the old meat cleaver and hacking away to find our passion. It doesn't make sense at all, does it? To be able to let go of stuff and create what we want in moments. But before that, we have to wait and suffer. Wait and suffer the anxiety, the fears, the isms, the disorders, the phobias, for years maybe. Doesn't make sense to me. Really doesn't make sense. You see, I don't know. For me, personal development is a lifelong adventure. If you're in it, you're in it. And it's not going to end, by the way. I think, for me, I decided my personal development will never end. Because there's always something else to learn, isn't there? There's always something else to do and improve. And you don't have to seek it out. It's not like a thing of, I've got to get better, got to get better. Because you will just get better. You will find new things to learn. You might just become more interesting. And therefore more interested, or the other way around. There's so many ways just to make life richer when we are in this adventure of personal development, our own personal development. And you can make it as serious as you bloody like, or you can just have serious fun, I guess. I love that term. Let's have some serious fun. And why not? That was Richard Bandler. I first heard that from Richard Bandler. If you're going to be serious, let's have some serious fun. And that's how I love doing my therapy. Because it is serious, but why not have fun while we do it? And let's create something really good, but by having fun. Because if you're in a good state, things just change, don't they? And if you think about it, if you're going to have fun about all of this stuff development, you're in a state which is not the state that you're in the issue with or the trying to develop, so it's going to help you. And also when you're in a good state like that, or in any emotional state, and you might well be a good one, you tend to take on things a lot easier. There you go. And the thing about personal development, again, is we're all starting from different points in our life, aren't we? We're on different paths. We've started at a different time. Our interests and our experiences are all bloody different. So all we can do is commit to this adventure. And that's why I love seeing everyone's, not their show reels, because that's bullshit, but I love seeing people's achievements. Because that gives me inspiration. Okay, maybe I can't do that, but I could take that motivation you have. How could I use that in something that I wanted? And that's my NLP modeling coming out. And doing this doesn't mean that life won't throw you a curveball, because it bloody does. Some people think if I learn NLP, hypnosis, all that stuff, my life is going to be perfect all the way through. Well, perfect doesn't exist, and life will throw you a curveball. Shit happens. But the thing is, we've got more skills, more tools. We've even got the back catalogue of Personal Development Unplugged and all those lovely hypnosis tracks for free to deal with it all. Because we do stumble. And the thing about this, because we're stretching ourselves, we are going into places that are maybe a little bit unknown to us. But that's how we're going to learn. That's the beauty of this adventure, because it's going to be good. I know I'm going to ramble in every different direction, by the way, because this is just on my mind. See, the other side of the coin, this mental health thing. Everyone, Cloughy, that's a generalization. Yeah, but it is true. Everyone, yes, you, me, everyone else in this bloody goddamn planet, at one time or another, gets a bit of anxiety, gets fear, might get a little bit depressed, might get sad, might get, you fill in the blank. And it doesn't have to be big. But even when it's not very big, it can get in our way, get in the way of our personal development. But it's there for a reason. We talk about the reason. Everything. I call emotions, I call limiting beliefs or negative beliefs and negative emotions on this side, having an intention. They're just behaviors. And every behavior has an intention. Good stuff has an intention too, to make it even better. But the intention behind these things is for us to protect us in some way. But when we learn from that emotion, that limiting belief, it gets out of the way because of that reason. But the thing is, if you leave it, and this is the thing, what gets me sometimes is that we have this little thing. Every client I've worked with, everyone, nearly everyone, generalization again. They come and see me because they've got this thing going on in their life. And normally it's pretty big by then. It's affecting them, affecting their life, their families and things like that quite drastically. Intensely. Now, when you go back, you tend to find that a few years ago, they had that same emotion, but it wasn't quite as intense. And they go back and back. And it's as if it starts somewhere in the past. It can't start in the future, can it? It starts in the past. And it's like a snowball that's just going down a gentle hill. It begins to get bigger. So that emotion gets a little bigger, a little more intense. Because I get it. Your unconscious mind goes, do you know what? You haven't learned. You're not listening to me. So I'm going to keep trying to protect you, doing it this way. And the thing is, that's the time, if we got it right at the beginning, got that help, and sometimes that's difficult to do. But as soon as we notice it, those isms, those disorders, those depressions, those negative emotions, we can deal with them. And the myth, there's a myth. And it's a myth that these people, I say these people, I don't know who they all are, but I've heard it so many times, where you have to dig deep, go through it all again and all that crap. And it's going to take a long time. Years of therapy. And you hear of people. I've been with my therapist for 20 years. And what goes through my mind is, doing fucking what? What are you doing for years and years? Apart from paying money. Maybe just like talking. I don't know. Some people do. Years, months on end. Sessions on end. And to me, that's just simply balls. Now, whether it's just my belief. Now, I know I've seen some things. Seen things where change can happen really, really quickly. So maybe my seeing is my believing. But also there's that thing that if you believe it, you'll see it. Wayne Dyer. You've got to believe it first before you see it. Now, maybe those people aren't believing it. Or maybe they just believe therapy is going to take bloody years. And guess what? That's what they see. Or maybe there's intention for them to do that. I don't know. They're getting something from it. Well, they will be getting something from it. Maybe they're just getting their attention. I don't know. But I'll say that again. You see, things can be really quick. We can change our mind in a second, by the way. We might have a limiting belief, even a positive belief. We might just have a belief, Cluffy, that we've had for years. We know it's true because it's our belief. And then we see something that disproves it. And you go, shit, I don't believe that anymore now because I've just seen the opposite or seen something that just disproves that belief. And we can change that belief in a minute or in a second, but we've had it for years. You see, I believe when you got the right therapist, boom, things change. You know, if they reframe something, we just get it. I mean, talking about reframing, a couple of examples. I had a guy come and see me, it was only about during COVID times or just coming out of COVID, and they got into a cocaine habit. It wasn't good. And he was a professional, but he's just said, I need to change, Paul, because I know if it gets worse, it's going to get worse, and worse is not good. And I got responsibilities, and I need to change. So he decided. And I gave him, and as I do with all my clients, I give them something to do between now and the first session. A different way of thinking. And he phoned up about 4 or 5 days after I'd seen him, and about 2 days before the first session. And he said, Paul, do you mind if I cancel the session? No, well, if that's what you want, of course you can change. Everyone, it's all about choice. My world and working in therapy, it's all about choice. I said, if it's okay, can you tell me why? Just so I can learn a little bit. He said, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that thing you gave me to think about. That went in deep. And what you explained to me went in deep. And I've just suddenly decided I'm stopping. And I did. And I feel bloody good. And that's, I think, what happens when people just really just go, that's it. Enough's enough. And with that reframing and the consequence, well, it was consequences of what would it be like when they're different. It was like the unconscious mind said, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. No more pain, all pleasure. What will it mean when I'm the way I want to be? And that was enough for him. Now that's quick, because I hadn't even done a session with him. He was just sitting, and the thinking about it was really minutes a day. I've told you about the angry man who was dying. He was so angry about something that happened in his life, and he couldn't do anything about it, so that anger and that rage just carried on and on and on, so much that his body was turning against him. He was losing weight. All his blood readings and all that stuff were just disappearing. And his doctor said, you could sort out these emotions, Mr. So-and-so, because if not, you will be dead. There's nothing we can do for you because it's all emotional work. And we did some work and did this one particular session, or this process that just seemed right for him. And the process itself takes around about 10 minutes. But it was in a session. So we obviously do some pre-work, getting it ready for that 10-minute process. And guess what? Everything changed for him. And I know why. It wasn't the process, but it was. The process was the right thing to do for him. But he had the desire, the will to do whatever it takes. And go for it. He just didn't know how. And it was like that one little process just changed his unconscious mind. To keep the intention, but find a new way, a new behaviour, or behaviours, and he did. I've told you about the man who phoned me up and cried on the phone without ever knowing who I was, said, I desperately need your help, Cluffy. Well, he didn't call me Cluffy. I think he called me Mr. Clough, I'm not sure. And he came and saw me the day after, which I don't normally do, but something inside me just said, I think we need to see this boy, this man. He came in and he just burst out into tears. So I didn't know what his problem was. I didn't know anything about him. I do now, because he told me about it after. But we did a session of hypnosis. And I just let my unconscious mind take control of me, as it were, to bring out the best process in me for what was happening. Because to be fair, I was pretty new at the game, I guess. One session. This man changed in one session. It's unreal. And I say things like, you never know how far the ripples of change will go. Well, I did on some of this because his sister came and worked with me, she was having a similar thing. Boom, one session. My younger son, Joseph, worked with some of his workmates because they were suffering in different ways. And they all changed. And, believing is seeing and seeing is believing. And to me, it just goes through. So when you think about therapy, though, because they were pretty drastic, by the way, they're the ones I remember so well because they were so significant because they just reinforced in such a massive way of how people can change and how quickly people can change. So fuck the thing about it's going to take months and years and things like that. When you're in the right place at the right time with the right person, boom. And when people think about therapy, sometimes there's a bit of I can't even say stigma. But you'd get help in other contexts, wouldn't you? With your golf, with your personal trainer, or maybe I went for a speaking coach. You wouldn't believe it, would you? It helped me in certain things, I know. But I went there for a reason. Some part of it was there's some emotional stuff in there, I think. But also I wanted guidance and skills to learn. And I would tell anybody about it because nothing to be frightened of, nothing to be scared of, and nothing to be embarrassed about. Because we would, wouldn't we? I want to get better at my golf. We go to evening classes maybe to get better at art or to learn a language. We'll do anything to get help, guidance and coaching, won't we? Until it comes to emotional health. I don't really like the term mental health, but it's a thing. It's mental emotional health because it affects us and can affect us quite drastically sometimes. And what I say to my clients is, don't be a fucking adult. What does that mean? You see, an adult will put stuff off because they'll either go, I can live with this. It's not that bad. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'll just live with it. I've got a little bit better. Thing is just getting a little bit better. That's putting up with stuff. And why would you do that? Why do you want to put up with stuff and not get the life that you really want? So that's why I say go and seek that help. Squash that bugger. Get it out of the way. Sometimes if you just say to yourself, is it going to make my life better or worse? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? No. And also, when this goes, when I've got rid of this ism, this disorder, this negative feeling, this just horrible bit wherever you feel it, and the effects, when it goes away and it's gone, how will my life be instead? How much better will it be? And when you think about how much better it will be, why the hell would you put up with anything less? Anything less than that. Because what you can imagine, you can have even more of. And I know some of us have waited a long time to do stuff, but why? Well, I say why because I know why. But I'm just trying to encourage you to maybe just seek it out. Have a listen to one or two things. Get in touch with somebody. Find a therapist. Because it can be really quick. 2-3 sessions. I mean, I can't remember the number now, but you go back in my back catalogue and just search for, I think it's what to expect from a therapist. Now, I know it's going to be biased because it's based on and biased in towards NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Hypnosis and NLP came from hypnosis and timeline therapy. And of course, the puzzle book, which is on sale in every good bookshop. You can find a blank book to write your stuff in anywhere. Nothing to do with me. Anywhere. They're available everywhere. They never run out. You can always find a puzzle book. So there's that. Then you've also got some free hypnosis. Where's that, Cluffy? I'll tell you about it now.
So,
the 90 seconds of hypnosis tracks. Why have I put hypnosis tracks on a separate website? Well, it's so simple really. I wanted you to have them all in one place so you can look through them all. You can find the particular one you want. I've even made them downloadable so you can put them on any of your playing devices that you prefer. You don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need the iTunes or whatever. You can put them anywhere you like. You can even burn them onto disk if you want. Where do you get them? Well, there you go. I told you it's paulcloughonline.com/podcast. If you're worried about your email address, please don't be, because they stay totally safe with me. I only use them to send you out that email and give you access. Simple as that. I send you a link, a special link, so you and only you can access those hypnosis tracks, because I want them just for you. And the other thing about this is you've taken responsibility. I don't want to make these open to everyone, just random. You have taken responsibility to listen and be part of this community of personal development. And I want to help you. I want to help you personally to get your dreams, your goals. And therefore, I'm giving you these tools, these protocols, these paradigms, whatever you want to call them, but in deep hypnosis. So just enjoy. Have more fun than you can stand with hypnosis. There you go. 90 seconds of hypnosis. You can ask for help. You can ask for help from your friends. You can ask for a consultation with a therapist to make sure that you're comfortable with them, to make sure that they're not going to be in it for the long time. And they're going to make life good for you. And they don't going to make it, but I'm going to say that again, because they don't do it to you. They're just a facilitator. They guide you to find the stuff that you want and the resources inside you, because I know you've got them in there. Just got to learn from this thing that's going on. Then it'll disappear. Now, there's loads of other places, isn't there? There's loads of other podcasts, websites. And I can't let it pass that my son, because I love my son to bits, my younger son, Joseph Clough, josephclough.com. He does a wonderful mind mastery, which is all about mastering your mind, to letting go of that feeling of not good enough. And that type of stuff. So you can just have a little look at that. You can find him he does wonderful hypnosis app as well. So much bigger than mine. It's massive. And again, I can't remember what that's called, but if you just look up Joseph Clough Hypnosis, you'll find the app. But that's just a few things. There's so much stuff around here. And I think it will help your personal development. Because when you're free to really start looking at the things that you know you can achieve, because you deserve to achieve it. Not that I'm not good enough, people will find me out and all that ism and stuff like that. You can really go for this personal development and you can live the rich life. And you can do it fully. And you can enjoy the success. Not that was a freak, that was a one-off. No, I did this and I can really go for it. So, you don't need to be sidetracked by anybody else. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Because we can do anything you like. There's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of confusion. And that was confusing me about putting personal development and therapy, because they do go hand in hand. But there's so many myths and things. Now you might say, well, Paul, how can I believe you? Why should I believe you? Well, you don't have to. I'm only saying what I believe. And those beliefs are generally they are not generally, they're all on the things that are my experiences, and what I've learned in life, and what I've seen, what I know. So there you go. So if you do have an ism, a disorder, get ready to strip that label away and have fun in this adventure of creating the life that you want without putting up with anything, only putting up with more fun than you can stand. Love that saying. Now, this was just a ramble. Comes from my heart, but it's just a ramble. Only Cluffy just chatting away, talking to you. There's a lot of stuff that I just feel sometimes not people, because you're not people, are you? You're you. And I just like sharing stuff. And I'm not going to ask you to share this with everyone else. Can if you want. It's up to you. But I just want you to share it with yourself by sitting down and going, where's this adventure going? Where do I want it to take me? Where am I going? How do I want to be? Get that old puzzle book out. As I said, available from all good bookshops. It's not called a puzzle book, by the way. It's called a book with, you can get them line pages, but I don't like line pages because I think that's restrictive. You can get them with dots in, they're slightly better. But if you can get a blank paged book, you've got it. Available at all good bookshops. Bookshops. And decide and imagine what you want in life. If there was nothing to stop you, what would you like to be, do, and experience? And then just notice what's in the way, get rid of that bugger, and make a plan. Schedule your adventure. Schedule your fun. Schedule just doing good stuff. I hope you enjoyed this ramble. Slightly different from the normal longer podcast. If you do, I'll do some more. Sure, I've got other stuff that I can just prattle on. Sorry about the swearing, but that's what we do when we prattle on. And let me know. You can email me if you want to. personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. You can find me on Facebook. I think I'm just under Paul Clough. I don't know. You'll see me. There's quite a few Paul Cloughs, by the way, but you'll see my lovely face. Got a little black hat on, I think. Little pork pie hat on. I think I'm on, well, I don't think I'm on Instagram. I think that's at @pcluffy. See, I'm really up with this. And I'm also on, I'm going to say Twitter. I am Twitter. Yeah, this is Twitter, not tweet. But I don't really do, I just put stuff up on there. I love Instagram. Look, I get lost in there. I think there's some good stuff. But too lost. Like sometimes it's too good. It gets me. And I've got to get out of that too. It's not part of my personal development. Anyway, you can contact me wherever you like. That's all I'm saying. So from there, let's get back and make the life that we deserve. Create the life we deserve. And then let everyone bathe in our success. It will change little old planet Earth for the better. And it needs to be helped change for the better. Big ask. But every little movement towards that, every little increment will start to grow. Anyway, after all that, Cluffy, it must be time to fly, you say. So it is. Go fly. Bye-bye now.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.